Hampshire makes about $8.7 billion in just in outdoor activities like fishing and snowmobiling and hiking. And I find that very interesting, so I decided to look into it more. And that ties into my project. I'm Will Zaxton, and my senior project is I restored my grandfather's fishing boat. And at the same time, I looked into research in New Hampshire tourism and how that impacts the state and brings in revenue. New Hampshire has lots of areas for like outdoor activities, like the mountains, the lakes, and the ocean. Up to 60% of people in the state does outdoor activity, like fishing and hiking. So that makes the state, so that brings in about 5,028,000 in state or local taxes, and that's very interesting. Now my grandfather's boat has been sitting for a long time. Like, he passed away before I was born, so I wanted to restore it for him and for his honor and be able to use it. Like, it was my mom's grandfather's fishing boat before it was my grandfather's boat. So it's just been sitting, and I wanted to fix it up. And it's very dirty it had a lot of disgusting stuff in it. It's kind of nasty. So that was like water was in it and it was draining out. Onto the trailer itself, where the boat sat, was wasn't bad, it was rusty. So what I did was I had to paint it, but it got too cold for me to paint, and so I got permission for the school to use the shop to paint it. So I grind it down with my grinder and a wire wheel, and I painted with this bed liner stuff, and I knew that was gonna help the boat. I mean, to help the trailer to like stay metal, not like rust out anymore. And so, like, during my free period, me and my sister put it on top of my truck, brought it to the school, took it off, and we brought it in to the shop, and I painted it my free period, and then I had wrestling practice, and after wrestling practice, I brought it out and put it back in my truck with help of my sister and a couple of friends. And with the boat, I cleaned it. I did my best to clean it, and it got cold, and it snowed. And so it was laying dead. So when I decided to bring it to my house, it was frozen to the ground. It had ice in it. I had it on the side, and I guess it fell down over. So that wasn't fun. It was cold. My hand stuck to the boat, trying to clean it out and get on top of my truck. When I did, it looked very sketchy. My tailgate was broken, so it wasn't going nowhere, but it might. I didn't want to chance it, so I tied it down, and it still was sketchy. And I drove it to my house with my hazards on, taking my time, and I was crunching time because I had practice right after I brought my boat home for wrestling. So yeah, working on this is the finished product. It still looks a little dirty because of the snow and stuff, but it's nice. So working on it took a lot of time, and I didn't have a lot of time. So what I did was every Sunday when I had off from football and wrestling, I worked on it. And I didn't have a lot of time to work on it on Sunday either, because sometimes it's snow or rain. So I couldn't go out. So I worked on small things on the trailer, like the wind system and tires. By this project, I learned how to manage my time. And because of school, football, wrestling, my time was very limited. As a result, I had to learn to do what I could when I had time to put it into the boat. Now with the boat, I developed more of a connection to my grandfather that I never knew. And I can use the boat to go fishing like my grandfather probably would want to use to do with my family. Any questions?
Great. Oh, go ahead, Jim.
There you go.
I think it must be nice. And also, if you want, you can actually like continue this project after you graduate.
What?
If you want, you can actually continue this project after you graduate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if it's something you're passionate about, might as well do it.
All right.